Welcome back, friends at enemies both, as well as everything in between. Welcome to another speed paint. This is special because it's actually technically two speed paints. One of them being for a competition, the other one being just because the vibe was mushrooms when I drew it, and I was like, I should have a bunch of mushroom things because mushrooms are great. So that's why this is all mushroom themed, if you're curious. Also, I was listening to The Moss again, because The Moss is a spectacular song, and it got stuck in my head, and it makes you feel like you're on a mushroom somewhere. It's a very specific vibe that it has. Anyway, so here, I'm just trying to make a tiny, simple girl, because I feel like I've been trying to make some drawings too, detailed, and I actually really liked how this turned out. See, the idea here is that everything is sort of muted, all the colors are a bit gray, because when you go down on the color thing, on the color wheel, with the square in the middle, you make it go down a little to the gray area to make it muted, and I like that. And so, and also here, I tried to make it look kind of like it was a drawing on parchment or whatever, so after I try shading here, I'm going to be making a white under the lines, and then clipping paper onto that whiteness, that clipping stock images of paper, parchment, how old paper, and it's going to be clipping parchment to it to create that texture, and tried to make it look like you drew it on, inked it onto old part paper, and there are a bit of troubles with that because I've not really done anything like that before, but yeah, so this was actually heavily inspired by owl art again. Shocking. Look, that keeps coming back to that. But anyway, she drew a a mushroom or whatever, mushroom girl or whatever a few days ago, and it was really cute, and she was really cute, and I was just like, hey, I want to draw something like that. Of course, it does not exactly like that. That would be stealing, but that was kind of the general idea. And also I wanted to try something new, because all the brushes, I didn't use that many different brushes in this one, but I'm going to use them in the next one. There's so many brushes that I've never even touched in Tiny IS Paint. It's really, really surprising to me that there are so many brushes, because I only have used technical pen, felt tip pen, and airbrush, so that was wild. Anyway, here you'll see we'll be doing more muted colors, and the mushroom top is kind of pinkish. So her hat is the mushroom cap, and there were actually tiny little mushrooms on it, but yeah, that didn't happen. And also you might notice that she's not wearing a dress. Well, I mean, she kind of is, though. She is the dress, kind of. It's weird. She's a mushroom, so she is the little stem. I know this very specific science term for the stem part of the mushroom, but I don't remember what it is. So I'm going to tell you about that one time that there was. So we got it was a kit little thing, science kit, and it had. So there's a little lens that you could attach to your phone, and pieces of dried mushrooms, so you can get it a bit wet, and then you can look at it, really zoom in, and all the mushroom little fiber things looked really cool. And also, fun fact of the day, I have little porcelain mushroom I got from the dollar store, and it's really good quality for costing $1, and I like it, and it's mine now, and nobody can take it. Anyway, so that kind of concludes this drawing. Again, I wanted to try something new, because I think also with the eyes, I tried to make the eyes much, much smaller than I make the giant eyes, and I think it really paid off, because it looks really different from any other thing I've done. So I'm actually proud that I managed to make something different this time. So anyway, here's a little life break. I'm cleaning up my desk, because that the last video I made, I never cleaned up after it, because I think I did actually clean up multiple times, but I keep getting it back out to do something, and then that doesn't happen. So here's just a little montage of me cleaning it, and to the bottom right corner you can see the mushroom, and it's pretty. I mean, it's only in the corner, the very corner, but yeah, this is what my desk looks like. I'm probably going to do a desk tour at some point, but that's literally all the markers I have. I might review them, because reviewing markers is interesting, and I've seen a lot of videos and people seem to find them useful, so probably the most useful thing I'll do. But traditional artwork is weird because that's all I did until December of last year. But now I'm basically doing most of it digital, and I want to change that because both are really fun and both can be really pretty. And now that I have a lot of markers, which I got them at Christmas, I'm hoping I can make some good drawings before I just have like Crayola crayons and colored pencils, which are boring and kind of pointless. Oh, you can see my Percy Jackson book. And anyways, I store my markers in sock boxes, because on my birthday, my grandmother got me socks, and I was like, the boxes are going to be used for markers now. And anyway, that's about the end of the cleaning up my desk, which is still kind of a mess because I just drew eyes earlier, which is a shorts that I posted. There's the scissors I was talking about in the last one. And little backing piece with the piece of cardboard. I made it in art class one time when we had extra time and there were sparkly Sharpies. So I just drew a bunch of shapes and colored them in because I thought it would look pretty. And it does, and I keep it there, and yeah, that's about it. I'm glad I just recorded it because I figured out that I have to do a time lapse. Okay, so on to the part that I'm entering into a challenge. So this is actually mushrooms, because the theme is mushrooms, and that was also the vibe for this video. So it was mushrooms, so I decided to look up a tutorial, and I watched about, I skipped around it a bunch, so I picked up a few of the things that you were used to make mushrooms, but the rest of them I kind of just fudged it. I just did a bunch of stuff, and it was like, it looks halfway decent, so I used a lot of textures, like you can clip them onto like logs or whatever to give the log texture. And they're just, again, there's so many brushes that I've never touched. So I'm going to be using like fern brushes, leaf brushes, because they all just look really cool. And yeah. Okay, so here I was thinking I would have a lot more to talk about, but that would be a complete and utter lie because I'm kind of blanking on what to talk. So I'm going to talk about, there's a mushroom that like deletes your insides. Basically, it's like a really poisonous mushroom, shocking, I know. It basically you feel like you're really sick for a day, and then you start to feel better. But once you feel better, that basically means there's no saving you. Yay, so cheery, I know. They basically causes a lot of internal organ failure, which is kind of bad because you kind of need your organs to like live. So that's a really fun mushroom, which is why kids don't just go in the mushrooms. Don't just go in the forest and pick up a mushroom unless you actually know what mushroom you're picking, and even then, double check because there's a lot of poisonous mushrooms, but mushrooms are cool. Breath of the Wild, which is telling kids to go eat mushrooms and you find in the woods. Yay, you can make so many cool things with mushrooms because they're like fancy magic mushrooms that you can chomp on. Just eat like 8 of them while you're fighting a monster. I'm going to tell you about some mushrooms. So in my area, there's just a lot of mushrooms everywhere because it's kind of wet, and mushrooms like when it's damp outside, so that leads to a lot of mushrooms being created. So you can walk around and find a bunch of mushrooms just lying there, and it's kind of weird but also kind of cool because like you can see them like grow and then get eaten by like wildlife, because there's also animals. But like it's interesting because sometimes you just don't go by an area for a while and there'll just be like a lot of mushrooms there, and you're like, hey, when did that happen? clearly it happened when you weren't there looking at them. But yeah, anyways, so credits in this video go to Arthur Music Box for creating arrangements of to Minish Village, the Minish Village theme, Cloud theme from Minish Cap, and Beware the Forest Mushrooms from Super Mario RPG. They're music box arrangements of video game songs, and they're really cool. Anyways, this is the piece that I'm submitting because they're both mushroom themes. This is the piece I'm submitting for the competition. So, here it is. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, this is cool. This is really fun to make though, because just mushrooms are really cool and I like them a lot. And if I actually knew more about them, I would be ranting about mushrooms for like 20 more minutes probably, but I don't know, so bye. Have a nice day. Remember to drink water or I'm coming for your kneecaps.